Oh, fuck me, man. You don't get much better than that, does it? When you actually the wrong thing. But hey, there you go. We're seasoned YouTubers. We still get it wrong. There you go. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, Shano, thank you for joining, mate. Off the cuff show. I just thought we'd have a general chit chat. Won't be a long show tonight because obviously you've got things to do. You've got the incredible, as I love to watch it, the Irish Breakfast Show, man. It's a fucking legend, man. How you doing, my friend?
All good, man. All good. Yeah, can't complain. Looking forward to this. Now, I was delighted when you sent me the text. Looking forward to having a general football chat, and big up to the wonderful chat that are there. I see that Keane and Acers and all the boys are in showing their support, and it's always appreciated. But thanks so much for having me on, man. I'm really looking forward to it, as always. As always.
It's always a pleasure, man. It's this great community we've got. Big up Keane Talks United, even lads. Sorry I missed the full Irish this morning. Shane, I was back-to-back meetings till 5 o'clock. Man, you've had a day then, haven't you? Wow. Jesus Christ. I'm glad I've missed them. I don't miss them days. I swear down. So, Keane, let's start here then, shall we? Keane Talks United says, thoughts on Ratcliffe given Amorium 3 more years. Is that true? Is that true?
Apparently so, yeah. Apparently he's come out and said something along the lines of, Ferguson wasn't supported at the start. And, they're using the same sort of excuses that we get used for Arteta. Oh, well, Ferguson was 6 years. And I just don't think that they can afford to sack him, is my idea. Or they don't want to pay a new manager to come in or something. I don't get it. I don't get it. But if it's words, I don't know if it's a contract or if it's just words. I don't know. Maybe Keane can enlighten us. Is it just words that he said he's just going to give him 3 years, or is it a contract? If it's a contract, it's madness to me.
Don't understand that at all. I don't understand this at all. I mean, we've been down this road, right, and we're still going down this dead end of what a massive club like them. I mean, I don't understand that statement, mate.
But he said that he used Arteta. Ratcliffe used Arteta as an example of why you stand by a manager.
I mean, I haven't seen this myself. But I'll take that. But at the end of the day, this is Man United.
Yeah.
Biggest club in English football, in my view. Huge. And this weird thing, Ferguson wasn't supported. Okay, I'll take that one. But football was different back then. It was a different game. We didn't have massive amounts of money. Don't forget, football really changed around, didn't it, Shano, when Sky got involved?
Yeah.
All the revenue from Sky, promoters came in, big day. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that, to be honest. I mean, is this the road we're going down now as football clubs in general? I mean, is this the way? I don't see it happening at West Ham right now, but Tottenham seem to be changing. I don't know, man. Right, I'm going to ask you this. Excuse me. Is this for the betterment, or a terrible word I'm going to use here, the worstment, because it's not a real word, of football?
You need a happy medium for me. I was on a stream earlier with Sam, and he was talking about getting rid of Arteta, and I said I supported him in the first 2 years, even when the football was terrible, and when he I supported Emery. I was like, give him another half a season, give him another season. I think there's got to be a happy medium. But with Amarin, he's the only one where I will say, I was saying at the start of this season, give him time. But from what I've seen, he is just clueless. Absolutely. I've seen nothing, not one little hint of why you would keep him. Not one little hint. But Arteta, he won the FA Cup, right? So you go, okay, he did win something. There was understandable to give him a year or two. But like the same with Ferguson, he had credit in the bank. He had won European trophies with Aberdeen. He had won leagues at Aberdeen. You know what I mean? There was a resume he could put down and go, no, look, it took me time at St. Mirren. It took me time at Aberdeen. It will come. And they go, right, okay. And that famous FA Cup game when Mark Robbins scored a late equaliser against Forest, there was always talk that would have been the end of him and their history would have been different. But giving Amarin that sort of freedom, I just think is madness. I don't know what they're doing. I wouldn't be saying it out in public anyway that we're going to give him this amount of time. Maybe it's a ploy just to make the fact, oh, well, there's no point protesting. He's going to be here. Let's stick by him. But it's sad to see, Jez. I just say it on my streams that I remember United as United, just like Arsenal as Arsenal. And when they're failing that bad, people's like, no, it's great. You can wind their fans up. And I get all that, man. Slagging Man United fans. It's all the banter's all part of it. But they are such a monstrous club that it's sad to see that they're not a monstrous club anymore, because they'd have an argument for being the biggest club on the planet. If you could sit down and argue it against Madrid when you go to how global they are and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's sad to see. It's sad to see, really, because this manager is, and I use this. This is how little I think of him. I often say that he makes Arteta look good. You know, he's absolutely clueless. So to give him 3 years and then to use Arteta as an example, I don't know. It's a bit of a madness to me, really. I fear for United now. I really do. But I mean, they'll say 3 years, but it doesn't mean he's guaranteed it. It doesn't mean if they're battling relegation or if they're finish 15th again, he'll have to go. There's no way they can say it. But we'll see how it unfolds. I just think it's a sad sight to see, really, and I don't mean that as in I'm not even being sarcastic to United fans. It is quite sad to see how far they've fallen, because, Jez, you remember them even in the 80s and then the 70s before me, when they weren't great. They went down in 73, 74. They were still a massive club. When they came up, I think they finished second in their first season back up, so they went right back into being a big club again. So when they've had periods of not being great, apart from the relegation, the last 52 years, they've never been this bad. So to give them 3 years is a madness for the worst United team in half a century. Is crazy. It's crazy to me.
I mean, I've had this debate with many fans. I mean, before my time, but Man United, probably the biggest, without question, English club in the world, and that started in the 50s. When they had that great team that tragically, the Munich air crash, that was devastating for them. Had one of the greatest players in that team. And my granddad used to tell me about that guy. He said, how good was he? Duncan Edwards I'm talking about. I'm referring. Fantastic. I've read his biography. That guy apparently was at the time in the 50s, attributed to be as good as Pele.
Yeah, heard that. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, Pele is probably one of the. He's no question. He's the greatest player I've ever seen in my life. Never saw him live, sadly, but I watched many World Cups he was in. But at the end of the day, look, we're talking about here Man United. Man United. First English team to win a European Cup. And we're talking about what's happening here. I mean, I just find this amazing. I mean, I saw the 74 team that got relegated from Div 1 to Div 2. They were shocking, man.
Yeah.
They were a terrible, terrible team. Man, I mean, Arsenal weren't a lot better because we were close behind them. We got away with relegation on the last day of the season, getting a 1-1. But I don't know I don't know, mate. I mean, there's bad things happening at Man United. They got shit stadiums falling down.
Yeah.
No investment. The players, ex-players, have said the training facilities are terrible at Carrington. I don't know, mate. Football seems to me of going a different way now. I mean, let's change this up. I want to get your opinion on this one. When Wenger was at Arsenal, he helped, or he redeveloped the Arsenal training ground, right? And he basically was the instigator of making it up to what it is today. My question is this to you, have we reinvested since? Because I don't think we have, because are the pitches up to standards, training pitches, I mean, Are they up to standard now? Are the facilities up to standard? We see all these glossy, promotions about the club's training ground. Yeah, great, fantastic, brilliant, right? I love all that. Okay, it's good, but has it improved the training ground? I don't believe it has. I don't believe there's been massive investment at that training ground since Wenger's time. So now I know Chelsea at Cobham players have complained about the lack of investment down there. Carrington, Man United, the players have moaned for years. Ronaldo, just before he left, said that the training facilities were shit. I don't know, mate. I mean, it seems to me, I'm going to shut up in a minute and let you answer what you want to say about it. You've got your opinion. I just think too much goes into now the players and not enough in the background. That's my statement.
Yeah. Well, look, when you look at Hale End and you look at the Arsenal training, they always say that the training ground was built on a car park, so that's a cause of injuries and stuff like that. But I mean, with the money today, I've always thought, how can they not just raise it a few foot with soil? I don't understand how they can't, soften it up. The thing is, Wenger famously, got Hale End underway and stuff like that because with the Anelka money, bought Henri and they did it up with the Anelka money. So it didn't even come from the club, really. It came from a profit, or at least the basis of it. And Wenger and Liam Brady were part of the team that picked the area, picked how it looked, his fingers are all over it. But when it comes to, like you said, the money being pumped into it, it's being tarted up now and then, and more modern equipment and stuff like that put in. But I mean, you're right. That with so much money going to the players, does it really get invested back into the club the way it should? I know Man City's training ground is just ridiculously state of the art, and it's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. And maybe the Saudis have better now these days. They probably have all the technology and stuff like that. But no, look, you look at Old Trafford and how bad it is, and you wonder, does it cost that much to get rid of a rat problem and to just spruce it up a bit when there's players on 300 grand a week? With 300 grand a week, not spruce it up a bit. I mean, just the state of some of them when they look like they're falling apart, and you go, come on, man. You know what I mean? Surely it can be maintained at least. So they're definitely not putting the money into it that they should be across the board for me. But yeah, it definitely doesn't go back into it. I mean, if we're talking about wages as well, I did hear that Arsenal have gone ahead of Man United in with the most wage. And I was only thinking of this the other day when I heard that, Jez. With Arsenal having been famously tight with wages, back through George Graham, back through Terry, back through through our history, we've always been really tight with wages. And now that we've gone ahead of Man United, would this be, in your book, the first time we've ever had a higher wage bill than Man United? It has to be, doesn't it?
Got to be. Got to be. I mean, without a question, I've actually started some comments, guys, which I think are very pertinent. I'll come back to them. Because there's a couple of points I want to bring up. Men's cricket, is it pointless even thinking about extending the stadium? Do you think it would cause a scene going to Wembley every week? Now, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to star that. Because that's a debate on its own. Let's be honest. As Darren says, poor old Man United are about 5 seasons behind us, at least a mid-table 10 now cup outfit. These owners don't rewards a winter break. I think I'm right. Big up, Joe. Hope you're well. Big up, Joe, Jez, and Shane. Now, let's look at this. Right, I want to. Let's change it up, guys. There's a couple of very good comments that I want to highlight here. I think they're very pertinent. Basically, this one here. Hassan says, given 1 or 2 more transfer windows, I still believe Arteta is the one. Fair play, fair comment, a fair comment. That's your belief, and can't disagree with you, but I think you're wrong. Shano, what do you reckon, bro?
No, I
Has he proved anything for that belief? That's the point.
No. He's had too many. It's just been so, we can keep saying this. So when does it stop? When does it stop, really? I mean, but and on top of that, by the way, and big up Hussein for coming in. Everybody's opinions are welcome. Not getting at anybody. We ain't having one or two more transfer windows. We're done now for a long, long time with transfer windows. Anything big, we won't be signing big players for a long, long time. This was the big one, just gone. So the next 2-3 transfer windows minimum are going to be sell to buy, especially with the stadium expansion, which I'm sure we'll get to. But with this was the big one, and nowadays you don't get 2 or 3 big ones in a row because you just have to meet all the criteria. So I think that's it for big transfer window. So this is what he is. This is what he has now. This is why I wanted, especially a new manager in the summer, a new manager to come in and do the big transfer window on him. I think Berta's partly done transfer windows, as in this one, as in if Arteta goes, there's players here that another manager can use. We've seen that with Gyökeres. That wasn't an Arteta signing. He wasn't keen on Eze. He can say he was, but he wasn't. Eze was a reaction to Havertz getting injured, which Jez called at the time, actually, when Havertz went down injured. He said, don't be surprised if we nip in or back in for Eze. So we won't really get another transfer window. So no, look, Arteta's had his time. He's had his chance. If he doesn't deliver big this season, he's got to go. And even if he does, for me, he's still on fraud watches, and he better retain something because it doesn't make up for the 3 years when we should have won under him. So he has a lot of making up to do for me. So even if he wins big, he still needs to go and do it again, man. Still needs to go and do it again. But yeah, no, this is it for him. This is it for him.
I totally agree with you. Mems is saying, Jez, you think United would be a different team if we had the Qataris in charge instead of the Glazers and Sir Jim Radcliffe. I think the problem is that purely at the moment, Man United are in the background and their lack of investment. If you have the Qataris come in, you then got the problem of all the other PSR and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, investment in the ground is not a problem, but there is talk. So Jim Radcliffe came out and talked about building a completely new Old Trafford, literally 100 yards away from the current Old Trafford. 100,000 seater stadium he was talking about. Now, Man United have got the money there with the investment from Sir Jim Radcliffe. That's not questionable. The question is the running of the club, as I see it. It's not a lot different to Arsenal. If you're going to stick with that manager at Amorium, at United, you're not going to go anywhere. SG says, if Jez was the Arsenal manager, we'd have won the quadruple. Well, let me put this, SG. If I was manager of Arsenal, there'd be a lot of differences. I swear down. There'd be a lot of very upset people working with me every day. They'd be gone. They wouldn't have lasted. They wouldn't have lasted 2 weeks with me. I swear down. Anyway, let's move it over. Hassan says, yes, okay. Look at the caliber of players we are getting. Okay. I'm going to come to Shane over these points. As Liam says, MS Hussein, washing machine settings. Right, okay. Hussein says, mate, I'm 44. I love Arsenal. As we all do, mate. As we all do. We all do. Yeah, I mean, you've supported Arsenal all your life. I hear you. Come back in May 2026. Right. Okay. Well, okay. So this is a great point. This is a great point to debate here, Shano. Hussein's obviously an Arteta fan, and he responds to his dialogue and the way he's running the club. No, I understand that, and we're all different. We're all got our own views, but the difference here is this: he has not achieved anything. A lot of money spent, over $1 billion, and won nothing. So how long, Hussein? How long, my friend, do you want to debate failure? Because that's what you're telling me. Wait till May 2026. Okay. I'm going to come to you, Shane, right now in a minute. So come May 2026 and he fails again, what are you going to tell me? What are you going to tell me? You're going to go again? Shane, what do you think?
Yeah, look, it's that thing of we've been through it before. He's been given all the tools. He's been given them before, though. People think now this is the only time. I mean, he had all the tools in 2023. He had even more tools in 23-24. We were on a good run. He decided to change it up for no reason whatsoever. Home to Villa, we lost. Then later on, we went to the Etihad. We had them on the ropes. He was too cowardly to go for the win. We drew and we lost the league by 2 points. So I've often said it, 22-23 and 23-24. You get the Christmas, exact same scenario. You switch managers. You put Pep in charge of Arsenal and Arteta in charge of City, and Arsenal win the league both years. And that's just the way it is. That's the difference between a top manager and someone who's still learning on the job. The only problem with this guy is that we know that he has the media wrapped around his finger, especially because they handpick the guys that go into his press conferences and stuff like that. He gets asked all the questions that he wants to get asked, doesn't get asked the tough questions, and he's pulled the wool over people's eyes, to be fair, because he talks a good game. He blames players fighting with their wives on injuries. You know, he just did that the other day. I mean, this guy will talk a lot of stuff, but for me, he's run out. He run out a long time ago of excuses. There will be excuses made, Jez, come May 2026. They'll say injuries again. They'll say, I'm already hearing get Semenyo from Bournemouth. That's the missing piece. So there's another missing piece now that he has. He needs, like I said, he needs to get over the line in the league or the Champions League. And even then, he's still on fraud watch for me. He still needs to prove that he can retain it. Because look at what's happening to Liverpool. Not that I'm saying they've fallen off, but the pressure can do crazy things. And retaining a league is a lot harder to do than winning it the first time. Hence, Wenger never doing it. You know what I mean? So, for me, we'll talk about this again come May 2026. No problem. We'll all be here. If he's won, we'll all be celebrating. We're Arsenal fans. We're not Arteta fans. We're Arsenal fans. I'll be celebrating as much as anybody else. I've waited 22 years for a league. Who wins the Champions League? I've waited my whole life. I'll celebrate. But it'll be reset, you know, and I'll finish on this. Gary Neville said before that when they won the treble, he was the day after they got back from Munich after winning it, after the celebrations and whatever else they did that night. He was back in Manchester and he drove to Old Trafford. He'd left something there. He wanted to pick something up. It was like 7 a.m. Ferguson was in his office working on what they needed to do next season to win again. They had just done the treble. So that's what you need. You need pure dedication like that. So winning the league, great, all done. But this guy will still be on fraud watch for me because 5 years with no trophies. Chelsea are nearly catching us on trophies, Jez. That's a record that stood for over 100 years, us being the third most successful team and the most successful team in Europe. Or sorry, in London. And we could lose that. I don't think people realise how devastating that will be to fall off that list. So look, I know, no, Darren, I didn't mean to mention Gary Neville. But yeah, no. Look, we'll have this conversation at the end of the season. We'll have it all the way through the season. And I pray that he proves me wrong. That's the thing about it. I hope Arteta proves me wrong and we win something big.
That's the thing, mate. Look, I've always said, all of us, it's nothing personal, right? I mean, even I was an Arteta in, even to the point. No, that's not true. Up to 2016, I was Arteta in, right? I actually said to fans around.
Wenger in.
Sorry, Wenger in.
Yeah,
Beg your pardon. Don't quote me on that. Don't clip me.
I'm clipping you on that. Yes, man.
I'll be like, wow, what? Cheers. Oh, man. No, Wenger in. I said to fans around me, be careful what you wish for. Right? And out the door went Wenger. In comes Emery. I thought, yeah, fuck me. We got to play it. We got a manager here. I was really happy about it. But it was quite clear. It was a bit like the old Bruce Rioch drama. Right? Never really given the chance. Yep. Although we know what Bruce Rioch did to the club. He brought in 2 iconic fucking footballers at the day. But that's by the by. The thing is, as Hussein says, I know Jez, Uncle Jez, he's building. How long have you got to fucking build, man?
He's taking piss now.
Shit, man. Let's put it this way, right? Right, the Shard in London at London Bridge didn't take this long to build. And that thing's the tallest building in London. Right, major engineering went into that. Yeah, right. How long did it take to make a build?
It probably costs less as well, Jesse, did it?
Sorry?
That building probably cost less as well, did it? 1.3 billion.
I mean, you know, I hear you, my friend. I hear you. But, you know, there comes a point in time. Big up, Jack, man. Big up, Jack. Yeah, we're not playing Jenga here, right? We're trying to actually establish a winning team. And this manager so far has not established that. So there has to come a point in time where we say enough is enough. Now, right now, we're top of the league. Right? We're top. We can't argue about it. It's great. Brilliant. I love it. Fantastic. We've got a stupid international break. We then play a few games and we got November, another stupid. I hate it. I've got a big issue about it. It winds me the shit out of me. Right? But we're going to come down to the time when we will really see what Arsenal are about here, right? Right. Odegaard's out. Shame. Big up, Jack, man. Hope you're feeling much better, my friend. Hope you're feeling better. And yeah, what's he building? A sandcastle. You know what I mean? I mean, I get what people are telling me, Shane. You know, they've got belief, they've got faith. I hear you. I hear you, I understand you. Right. But there's a massive failure here. And the massive failure is, Shane, one big thing that's lacking, my friend. No silverware. And when you've got no silverware from your manager, then it's failure.
Yep.
Therefore, right, after all this time, come December, 6 years, you've won nothing. You ain't going to win no silverware between now and December, right? Time to go. Sorry.
Yeah. But that's the thing, Jez. And building any big football team, there's only one goal, and it's silverware. It's not get along gang. It's not vibes. It's not get the atmosphere up. It's not all of that. If you're a big club or a so-called big club, the only thing that you are building towards is silverware. So he has failed in his building. And you know what it is with this whole building analogy as well? It's like what we've done is, right? What we've done is we have hired a firm to build for us. This is what it's like. You hire a firm and you look at the prices and you go, well, they're the best, but they're very expensive. I'll drop down a couple of bits. I'll save some money with this firm. They'll build it for me and I'll save a few grand. You get them in, they do a half decent job, but it's not right. So what you have to do then is you have to go buy and hire the expensive firm to go redo it all. And you end up losing more money. So that's what we've done with Arteta. We got in someone, he's tried to build, he's done his best. It just hasn't turned out the way it was meant to turn out. So what we need to do now is we need to go hire the best in business and get them to build it properly and get them to win us some trophies. Because even when we were finishing fifth under Wenger and only winning an FA Cup, the name of the game was still to win the league. Maybe that wasn't his objective. His objective was get Champions League for now. But the standards of the Arsenal fans was still, we should be challenging for the league. We should be winning leagues. Not every season. It's not going to happen. But if you're an Arsenal fan, when you go into every season, your expectation can be, I expect us to only get Champions League this year under Wenger, or whatever it is. Maybe if we get an FA Cup. But your standard should still be win the league. You might not hit it, but that should always be your standard. And that is always Arsenal standard. It's only now that it's changed. This guy has changed it. He's come in from day dot and he sat down and he said, oh, this club is in bits and it's going to take time and phases, and everybody fell for it. Everybody got like the wool be pulled over their eyes. This guy, the club is falling apart. You know, we need to get rid of this guy and this guy and this guy. And we need to start, and it's all family and it's all about the journey. No, sorry, mate. Yeah, that's gone on long enough now. That's gone on long enough. And they can always refer to the 9-year trophyless period under Wenger. if Arteta had to work under the restrictions that Arsene Wenger was working under, we'd be 14th or 15th. Trust me, we'd be where Amarin is now if he had to work under those restrictions. He had summers where he had to sell Clichy, Torre, he had to sell Adebayor, and all to our new team that was building as well, Man City, that had all the money and could sign whenever they wanted. He still finished ahead of them several seasons after selling them our best players. So he doesn't get enough credit for what he did. But he wasn't building at that stage. He was just putting buckets on the floor to stop the leak. That's all he could do. That's all he had the money to do. So now that we have the money, now that this guy's been given the backing, and now that we're meant to be a top team, which we have always been, by the way, not winning anything isn't good enough. It's not good enough, never will be good enough. No excuses, no injuries, no this, no that, no. You win. You're Arsenal, you win. And 5 years without trophies is not good. He should have been sacked a long, long time ago. Now that he's here, and we know we won't get sacked this season, we'll have to back him, right? We'll have to back him. But we'll call him out every chance we can. If he makes mistakes, we'll call him out. If his lineup's wrong, we'll call him out. If he's falling out with players, we'll call him out. If he's causing injuries, we'll call him out, because we are fans. We've earned the right to do this. You can hit us with the, oh, if you don't go to games. We've all either been to games or go to games, or it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Once you support a team, you have a right to have an opinion. But this isn't good enough, and it never will be. And he needs to win big and relentlessly now to win me and Jez and a lot of us over, because we've seen better times and we know what they're like, and this isn't them.
True. I mean, Liam, you're quite right, my friend. I agree, Shane. The gimmick doesn't wash anymore. Older fans are not naive like the younger generation. This is something I've debated many, many times, right? Respectfully to younger fans, respectfully. Too many fans, younger fans, follow the narrative because they don't want to be unpopular. They want to go along with the get-along gang. They want to be, how can I put it, friends on social media with people they've never met. They're never going to meet them, but they'll go along with it because that's what they think the right thing is to do. Well, actually, it's not, because as younger fans, respectfully, you will eventually realise, fucking hell, I've been dragged down the wrong corridor here. This is bollocks. This is bullshit. And that can happen in many walks in life. Shane, you know, it doesn't just happen in football. It happens in life, right? We've all been down different avenues wherever we've gone. But unfortunately, a lot of young people fall down that rabbit hole, and they think, yeah, well, this is the way it goes. It's the way it should be. No. Make up your own mind. Make up your own mind. Make up your own cognitive intelligence and say, no, fuck this. This is bullshit. You know. Anyway, let's move this over. Let's talk about this proposed Emirates Stadium expansion, right? Expanding it to another, what was it, 90,000? Was it 90,000? Am I right in saying that? Am I wrong? Proposed?
Yeah.
90,000.
That's the rumor. Yeah.
So that's going to be great for the absolutely brilliant for the silver and reds on the lottery. Fantastic. Even more people applying. Fantastic. Here we go. Another day. Right. Shano. When we were at Highbury, we qualified for the Champions League. Deemed, because of the sponsor boards on the side of the pitch and the width of the pitch, bearing in mind Highbury was quite a small pitch actually, we couldn't actually play at home. We had to go to Wembley. Yeah. Right. And I used to go to Wembley to watch Arsenal in the Champions League games. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't a great atmosphere.
No.
It wasn't great. It was actually pretty shit. But we're now faced, possibly, if this building work goes ahead, that home games next season will be played at Wembley. Now, I question this. I question this because why can't they do the building extension in that closed season? With modern technology, they can get in there right on 90 minutes, if you like, right? Crack on, get it done. It's a modern ground. It's not like Highbury where it's major renovation, right? Whoever designed that ground at the Emirates, the engineers would have anticipated an expansion. Now, look, I've seen the comments, mate, Shano. That if we have to play at home at Highbury, every team is going to come there. Cup games, League Cup, FA Cup, whatever. To them, it's like playing in the fucking FA Cup because they may never, ever get to play at Wembley. That puts massive pressure on Arsenal. Now, to me, this is madness. 200 odd million pounds proposed to expand the stadium. Okay. Who's paying for that then? Well, the Kroenkes own the stadium now. They bought it during lockdown. They paid the mortgage off to the bank, Barclays Bank and Bank of Scotland. They paid it off. So the Kroenkes now own it. So they're paying this money out. 200 odd million pounds. I mean, we know they're not short of a few bob. You know what I mean? They can afford a turkey at Christmas.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I find this a little bit confusing. Why can't they get it done in a period of time that we've got to spend a whole season playing at Wembley? I don't understand it.
I don't know. I think they're looking at Real Madrid. Real Madrid did that. They expanded, but do you know what? Nowadays, Jez, it's probably safety measures. Probably you can only do a certain amount a day. I'd imagine something like that because if it was Saudi or somewhere like that where they don't have any sort of rights for workers, they fly it up in a month or two. But I'd imagine it's a lot of red tape. It's a lot of you can't have this amount of people working for this amount of time, and you have to. I'd imagine it's all red tape. That or it's cheaper to do it over time, which you wouldn't put it past them. But you're right about the whole Wembley thing. Obviously, when we played our Champions League games there in 98, 99, it was the old Wembley, so it was even more of an experience. But we lost to Lens at home, I think, didn't we, at Wembley in that year? I think we drew with Kiev. I think we only beat Panathinaikos. I think we're the only team we beat out of the group. Then didn't get out of the group. So that will happen. People coming there, especially like you said, the lower teams, the mid-table teams that might not ever get to play there, they'll be thinking, "Oh, here we go." It's also as well, it's just that it's not your home. It's not your home, and it's taken a long time to make Emirates a home, and it's even now it still struggles for atmosphere. So it would just be another, if it's going to happen next year, and this guy's got another year, it's just another excuse for him, then, isn't it? It's another year's excuse for him. He's got it ready made. We weren't playing at the Emirates. It's another excuse for him. So maybe that would be a reason to get another manager in, fresh start. But there's rumors that it's 70,000. There's rumors that they're making it 80,000. If it's only 70, if it's only going up 10,000, it's a lot of work and a lot of hassle for 10,000 extra seats. It seems mad to me to do it for that. I just don't see a reasoning behind it. If it's an extra 20,000 seats, fair enough. I get it. It's that bit extra. But they've just put it up to 70,000, which some people are saying is crazy. To all that trouble, all that effort, all that money for an extra 10,000 is a madness. I know they'll make it back over time with tickets and stuff like that, but just in terms of the club, it's crazy. It's crazy to do that. Mario's saying just make it 100,000. Yeah, it's not aesthetically possible. You can't, you just couldn't. It wouldn't take the weight and stuff like that. Jezza was saying that the other night that maybe the reason that it's only 10,000, it probably is that reason. It's structurally not able to handle more. They used to spread them out, but then you have shops and houses and stuff around. You end up paying them off millions just to do it. But yeah, Jez, it would be a disaster, I think, for me, unless it's going to be a massive improvement. Then no, but I'd rather the money go to like we started with for the training facilities or for the youth facilities or something like that. But yeah, unless it's going to be a massive upgrade, I don't get it. You know, United are doing the right thing. I think they're just going, listen, this ground is in bits. We'll have to build it from scratch. It'll probably be cheaper than doing it. It's like when you get an old historical house and you try to do it up. It costs more than buying a new house because you have to gut everything and work around it. But yeah, look, I think it'll be a disaster on the pitch to do it. And I think if it's only 10,000, it will be in the long term a disaster off the pitch, because I just don't see the appeal. I don't see how we can make a profit in the end. But look, they would have done all the research that we won't do. But yeah, I just think it's a madness. I don't see the reasoning behind it at all. I'm interested to find out more as time goes on, but I really don't see what the appeal is.
The only thing that concerns me, right? We've been down this road once before, right? I know this is a different scenario, okay? When we left Highbury, we went to Ashburton and Grove. It was all this bullshit, wasn't it? We got no money. We can't buy. We got to sell this. We got, can't buy this player. We can't do that, which is all bullshit. I don't want to go down this road again, right? Because at the end of the day, it's quite visible. You can go and look about at the money Arsenal have got. Yeah, it's available at Company's House. It's free to go and look at it. They've got pot loads of bloody money. That's without private investment. Now, if the Cronkies want to do private investment into their grounds, which they own, right? They own it. Oh, Arsenal FC own it, which they own. So it's the same bloody thing, right? So at the end of the day, this is a bit of a weird one to me. Now, I understand what they want to do. They want to get more revenue. And of course, it lines their pockets more. Of course it does. But, Aces, season ticket holders will fit the bill for a rebuild. Yeah, of course. Now, the thing is, will it be available, with this new expansion, be available for match day going fans? I'm not talking about lottery fans, right? I think this lottery thing's absolutely... I looked at it the other day. Guys looking at getting tickets at Christmas, for the annual Christmas do with my old buddies, for the Wolves game, right? The fucking costs are ridiculous.
Yep.
And that's up in like the God's level. Right? That's in God's level. And I'm like, so I put it back to a few of the boys. And I said, and some of them said, no, I can't afford it. They can't afford that ticket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck me. You live round the corner from Highbury. Right? Now, I'm not knocking them because they're, like me, they're pensioners and all that. Right? But they're turning around to me and said, Jez, can't afford that.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I hear it. I hear that. And I'm thinking, fuck me. £133, right? In Block Z, right? Which is in the gods, £133.
Yep.
It's a fucking disgrace, man. And these people, lifelong, been going longer than me, some of these people I'm talking about, right? Yeah. And they can't afford to go. They can't afford to pay that money. Yeah. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, so I went over for the Fulham game when the league was done. So people were sort of selling their tickets off because we couldn't really catch Liverpool. Brought the missus over, birthday present. She's a massive Arsenal fan as well. So with tickets, flights, one night in a hotel, I ended up dropping about £1,000. £1,000 over for one night and back. You know what I mean? It's a madness, like, and that's where they get you. You know what I mean? You're talking the Armory then as well, and you're talking a match program if you for the people that are visiting, not the regulars. That's why they'd happily get rid of all the season ticket holders. That would be their dream: get rid of the season ticket holders. Just have it that's ticket on sale, massive price, people lining up to come over from all. And fair play, it's good that there's space there for people to come over from America for a day and come over from China and all that stuff. It's amazing. That's what makes it a big club. But like you said, and Kenny said as well last night, that most of these tickets won't go to the regular person on the street. They'll all be corporate tickets, and you know what I mean. It's not going to do anything for the atmosphere, which is what it should be all about. And this is another thing that Arsenal fans do online is we need to talk about the atmosphere at the Emirates. We need to make it better. You can't just switch that on. It's an emotion. You need good football, or you need intense football, or you need shots taken on goal. It's to do with the football on the pitch is why the crowd aren't up for it. So 10,000 extra people isn't going to make a difference. They're just going to be as bored as the other 60,000 that were already there. So again, it's just, it is greed, as people are saying. It's greed, and it's for them lining their pockets in the long run. But there's more things that need to be addressed than a few 10,000 extra seats. You know what I mean? You need to entertain the crowd that are there already. But it's just, Jez, and I'm with you. This to me seems like an excuse for 3 or 4 years of we can't spend money. We can't spend money on players because we're building onto the stadium. That's what it's going to be. It'll make them money in the long run. It'll also give them an excuse not to spend more money. They've had this summer. They've gone, right, that's it now. We're not putting our hands in our pockets anymore. So it's just an excuse for them. Over and over again. Over and over again.
We had this before. We had this bullshit before when it's this dream, right? The bullshit dream. Oh, we're going to the Emirates. We're going to compete with Bayern Munich, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, all that bollocks that we were sold, right? And we've never done it. So is this going to be another fucking rinse and repeat?
Yep.
Because I tell you, swear down, that is an absolute insult to the likes of the match-going fans currently. And if that happened, right, Shane, if that happened, I'd actually think the fans that go now will suddenly wake up and go, what the fuck is this about? What the fuck is this about?
Fool me once.
I've heard about this. I wasn't there back in the day, 2006. But I've heard about this. And now here we go again. This is unsustainable. And now we don't know this is going to happen, of course. Of course we don't. But I don't want to see it again. Darren's saying, Shane, the atmosphere is dead. I only heard Olympiacos fans the other night. When we went, we made more noise in the half hour prior to the game than the full 90 minutes nowadays. Yeah, because they're not true fans, mate. It used to be the streets around Highbury would be like levels of noise. It was levels before an hour and a half before the game. You'd hear the fans. Round North Bank, round the clock end especially, because you knew what was going on down there. But Darren says dead soul North London. Oh, don't even mention that to me, mate. That
the away fans are still like that, Jez. The away fans. I've gone to loads of Champions League away games, and if you want to find where all the Arsenal fans are 2, 3, 4, 5 hours before the game, you just step out of your hotel and cock your ear, and you can hear them singing. And you just follow the noise and you find them. You know what I mean? That's the away fans are still the sort of the core of I don't want to say diehards, because the fans that go, there's a load of them that go that are diehards. Of course there are. There's the Jezzes and Kennys and anybody who has a season ticket, and anybody who just, even some people that just get 1 or 2 tickets a year, they can be real fans. It's just that it has become more of a touristy, and I'm not talking about foreign tourists, I'm just talking about like what you'd call a tourist spot where people are just going to hang out and stuff like that. And you've heard him, and you've heard Tom Canton say that he goes to socialise, Jez. He goes to meet up with his friends.
I called him out on the show on that.
You know what I mean?
I fucking called him out on Dan Potts' show on that. I said, I actually said to him, sure, you go to the game to socialise. Yeah. I said, well, go down the fucking pub then.
Yeah.
Go and meet him down the pub and fuck off out the ground.
Watch the game on the telly in the pub. You can have a chat then.
And he was going like, what? He didn't like it because I was straight up to him. He's not used to talking to a real fan, right? Because he's such a prim and proper little prick.
Mm.
He doesn't know what it's all about. He's never been down the road, you know what I mean? And he gives it all the big bullshit. And I'm like, nah, fella, you wouldn't stand your ground back in the day. You'd have walked and ran like a little girl. Don't sit there and try and tell me about this football club,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because no, it ain't going to melt with me. You know, and these fucking wankers, seriously, man. Darren says Tom Cant is a wet, probably reads the Telegraph. It don't matter, man. Absolute clowns, a lot of them. Haven't got a Scooby Doo. I swear down, right, back in the 80s, not 70s, 80s, 90s, they would have been little pussies. They'd have run like fucking little schoolgirls. Right.
Mm.
I ain't got time to listen to any of them. They don't know this club. They're fucking wankers, a lot of them. I ain't got time for them. Anyway, let's before we wrap this up, I think at the end of the day, let's quickly talk about this, shall we?
Yeah.
Injuries.
Mm-hmm.
This goes on and goes on, and we can talk about this till Christmas, mate. Right? Case in point, recently again, Odegaard goes down, knocks his knee. You know, knocking your knee against another knee is painful. We know that. We've all done it in sport, right? Unfortunately for him, it's injured up with a MCL injury.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate. He gets up, wants to play on, goes down again. Physios come on. At that point, Shane, right? At that point, when the physios have gone on, they're, you know, massaging his knee, checking it. That is the time when the manager says, right, get off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get off. Can't have you injured again. Get
Mm-hmm.
down that tunnel. Let's get you off. Get some ice on that. Let's have a look. And let's get a scan on it tomorrow, whenever. What the fuck are we doing here, man? It winds me up. Seriously.
Yeah, but look, Des, you know my stance is I get furious about this. I've had people in my chat and on comments recently saying, "Oh, every team gets injuries. What's your problem?" And it's not like this. It's not. Listen, the modern day footballer, they're so tuned. Their bodies are so tuned that it's all ACLs, MCLs, muscles now that go. It's not really collision injuries like it used to be. People used to say players used to play every week, and they did. They used to play every week. It wasn't as intense muscle-wise. They weren't using it. So there's more of them that go. It's always things snapping now and stuff like that. But the thing is, when it's all these tendons, muscles, things like that are snapping or going or stretching and all of that, you can't judge the injury until the swelling goes down and you have a scan. So playing on is not an option anymore. You can't do it. You can't risk it. And there's 5 subs now for a reason, Jez. If you have a player go down in the first half like that, and it's a knee injury, yeah, you can run it off. Right, I'll even give him the first one, run it off, right? But he went down, sat down, he brought him off, and then he put him on again, and then he sat down again. So there was the initial collision, then there was the play on for 10 minutes, sit down. Oh no, he's going to play on again. Then there was another one where he had to sit down, and then he got brought off. And this is the thing again about this manager, where people go, "Oh, like why are you looking at that one part of what Arteta did?" And you go, "Well, I'm doing it because it's previous. There's previous. He's done it time and time. He's done it this season already with Saliba turned around at Anfield, got helped off the pitch by the physios. Oh, he wanted to play, so I let him play. Well, that your job is to tell him no. Your job is to say no, you're not playing. It's an ankle injury. We have to have a scan on it and see how bad it is. It turns out that it was pretty bad. Then he rushed him back. He's pushed Partey back onto the field. He played Ben White. We've gone through the list a million times. So when you look at his intense training, he's famous for it. Mad Wakey, first interview, I've never done training this intense. No, it's kind of strange then that you're out with a hamstring, mate, isn't it? You know what I mean? What did you last 4 games? Then your hamstring went. Norgard, groin injury. Hincapié, groin injury. All these guys that have really good injury records are dropping like flies because of his training. And that's before you get into how he plays them on the pitch, how he makes them cover more ground than anyone else. Our players cover more ground in games because they're tracking back all the time as a unit, as a drilled unit. Then he's not rotating. Then he's not subbing players off. So most of these injuries could have been prevented. Yes, there would still be injuries. Odegaard still would have smacked his knee off your man, regardless of who's the manager. The only difference is, if it wasn't a bad tendon injury beforehand, it certainly was when he played on for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? So the record of this guy ruining players is there for anyone to see. The only way you don't see it is when you just refuse to accept that this guy might make decisions that benefit himself and not the team. Once you realize that he will make decisions to benefit himself, then you can see straight through it all, because it's an endless list of them, Jez. And you know what? Declan Rice is going to go down soon. We've all called it. He's in the red. You can see it. Anyone looking at him can see it. He's shattered after 20 minutes, and he's just such a fighter and a warrior that he plays on, and he still gives it 110%. But if he goes down with anything that keeps him out for a month or so, Jez, that midfield is falling apart, because he is covering for all of them. And we can see him going. Saka will go. I can see Saliba, Gabriel. Yes, injuries happen. But the same players are going down. The same players are getting rushed back, and the same players aren't getting rotated. So I was hoping he would learn, knowing that he wouldn't learn, that he has to rotate. But I haven't seen anything this season to show me that nothing's changed. It's all the same stuff, and it's all going to come around again, just like the finances of the club, Jez. It's round and round we go, and the same players are going to start dropping soon, and we'll see what he's made of then. But yeah, the injuries, man, they really need to be looked at. He needs to be looked at, because he says they've looked at everything else, everything that you can look at. Never once said he looked at himself. And until he does, nothing's going to change.
Fact. Now, this is an interesting question. Right. MS Hussein. Uncle Jez, if you was to sack Arteta, who's coming in? I'm going to turn this on the table, because I've been asked this question so many fucking times.
Daily.
Right. How about you tell me who you bring in if Arteta match? How about you tell me who you bring in?
Just if there's a world saying where Arteta quits tomorrow, and regardless, you can say managers that aren't available, all of that stuff. Number one, Mancini is available. I mentioned him. Mancini is available. But there's Zidane. Look, 15.6 million a year, you can get any manager you want.
Of course you would.
Zidane, he says.
Anyone. You get anybody from anywhere in the world. If you said to you, right, okay, right, let's put it this way, right? You and me are gas engineers, right? That was my trade. And you're a gas engineer now, right? And you're working for me. And somebody comes up to you and says, you're a great worker, mate. Don't work for Jez, because I'll give you £35,000 a year more. You're going to say, well, I'm earning 30 grand. You go, well, I'm going to give you 65. You're going to be out the fucking door tomorrow, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a manager, right, at wherever, is going to say, fuck me, I've got a chance here now. I've got a chance here. You're going to go. Yeah, fair play. I mean, Zidane. Although Zidane has said he doesn't want to work in the Premier League, I don't blame him. Matteo's saying Hansi Flick, fair play. Luis Enrique, good choice. Yep. Alonso, fair play, Hassan. Fair play to you for putting that one in there, mate.
Conte would be a big one for me. Guaranteed trophies for him. Guaranteed trophies.
Inzaghi. Yeah.
Inzaghi. Glasner, I'd even take Glasner. I wouldn't be overly happy about it, but I'd take him.
Yeah. I think we can do better. I think we can
do better, but I'd still be like, right, okay. But what I don't want is a young manager. I want someone who's won the big prizes. You know what I mean? And people say,
I have to respect Hassan, because fair play to you, my friend. At least you've come back with an answer, because a lot of people make that question, right, and they just go, no answer. Fair play to you. I fucking respect you for that. I do.
Yeah, big time.
Big respect to you, my friend.
And he's been really respectful in the chat as well, which is always important.
Top level, man. Big up. I would say I'm staying with. I would say no. I'm staying with my uncle Jez. Fucking hell, mate! I tell you, they wouldn't like me at Arsenal. I swear down. I wouldn't last a week, mate. I swear. They wouldn't like me. I'll put that down here. Matty O says, that's made me laugh first. Big up, man. 15 million British pounds gets you Luis Enrique. Gets you 5 Luis Enrique. Yeah.
Well, he's only on 4 or 5 million a year, I think, anyway. So
Chirrell
you'd be
Gunner
tripling his
TV.
wage.
Support Chirrell Gunner TV, man. Big up to you, my friend. Big up Jez and Shano. Yeah, Shano's a legend, man. He's a real one. Swear down. He puts the content out there. But we're going to wrap this up in a minute, I swear. Luis Enrique says, William Holmes. Yeah, I'll go with you on that one. Yeah, Emerson. Yeah, you're a fucking real. You're a great boy. Waha says you need Amorium to unlock Grockeries.
Okay, yeah, you can keep him.
Oh, we're going down that road. Big up Jez, big up Shado. Yeah, right. We're going to wrap it up, people. Thank you, everybody that's joined in tonight. It's been a great debate. Very, very, very good comments. Very respectful to everybody. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thoroughly enjoyed having Shano on, as always. Absolute fucking legend. Big up Lee, Statham TV, Leeds United. Big up Lee, man. Sorry we're wrapping it up, bro. Otherwise, you could have jumped on, actually. But hey, there we go. Yeah, I'm not the godfather no more, Shane. I'm the uncle. You know
the unks now, huh? I get called unks. We all get called unks. Anyone that's over 30 now is an unks, I think, with these kids.
Big up, man. Big up. Anyway, there you go. Shano, man, you'll be live tomorrow morning, 10:30.
I will indeed. And then I have the Bruised Banana tomorrow night at 8:30. Jez will be gracing me with his presence. We have Normski, of course, BBK, and yes. I think a Vigilante as well will be on as well. So so I have the full Irish tomorrow. Then I got a packed day after doing lifey stuff. Got to do a bit of work. Got to pick the kids up and all that. But then 8:30 tomorrow, Bruised Banana, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a great show that with people. Make sure you come across and watch that and support. It's a great show. Love it. Absolutely love it. Darren says, now for the outro. I love it. EIE. The old, yeah. Them old boys, mate. Great band, then. Great band.
Yeah, man. Proper
band. Anyway, people, we're going to get out of it. Go and enjoy your evening. Thank you for coming and supporting. As always, you're always real ones. Love the participation. Great debate. We're out of it. Take care.
See you later, people.
Take care.